How many times do I need to repeat myself? If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000,000 times. I tell you the same thing over and over again. Parents are tired of repeating themselves. It's draining, mind-numbing, and pointless. So why don't your kids listen to you? New parents, we're about to find out. 1. They can't hear you. Family, did you know that overall hearing loss is quite common in children? Most hospitals conduct a hearing test on newborn babies before they're allowed to go home. An American survey estimated that as many as 15% of children struggle with hearing loss, although many were just slight cases and usually affected just one ear. Regardless, 15% is a large portion of children that don't hear clearly. Some signs to look out for. Your child has difficulty understanding, speaks differently to their peers, doesn't answer when you call their name, or listens to the volume of music or telly louder than everyone else. 2. They just don't want to. Ouch. I know, but this is what they're thinking. If I pretend I don't hear, then maybe, just maybe, it will go away. Sadly for your child, it doesn't quite work that way. But even sadder for you, it means you end up repeating yourself ad nauseum and you sound like a broken record. Don't worry, family, this is all normal. We'll share a tip later that will take the stress away from the regular frustration of kids not listening. 3. You're asking at the wrong time. Like adults, kids also get involved with projects. If it's not urgent, wait for them to finish before asking. You know how it feels when you're in the middle of cooking dinner and your kid asks you to watch their dance, look at their artwork, and help them find the missing sock. It's quite annoying, as it's pretty clear that you're in the middle of something. You can always give a heads up so they can wrap their head around what's to come. For example, once you're finished playing with your Lego, I'd like you to unpack the dishwasher, please. Make them repeat it and let them finish playing before they do the task you set out for them. 4. Children don't understand you. Often we use language that is way too advanced, too vague, or just too long. For example, we might say, "Okay guys, it's time to get ready." What does that exactly entail? You want your child to eat breakfast, brush their teeth, pack their bag, and pop their coat on. So break it down for them. Give them one instruction at a time. 1. Eat your breakfast. 2. Brush your teeth. 3. Pack your bag. 4. Put your coat on. Once they've done that sequence of events a few times, the next time you say, "Okay guys, it's time to get ready," they will know exactly what to do. 5. You speak too loudly. Family, don't you absolutely despise it when people raise their voice at you? It's belittling and offensive and makes you feel like you're being berated. Children feel the same. When we feel overwhelmed or angry, we tend to raise our voices and take out our frustration on our children. The problem is, children become fearful of us instead of learning from the experience. Shouting or yelling doesn't bring the message across any clearer than if you sat down calmly and requested the same thing. And remember, kids emulate how you parent, and you don't want that yelling streak to continue to the next generation. Next, we'll explain how having basic needs met can make the world of difference. 6. They're exhausted or hungry. Family, you know what it feels like to be hangry. You don't want to be nice to anyone until you've had something to eat. And when you're tired, no way in hell are you going to be all ears and perky to listen first time. We often believe that our children need to be these obedient little robots, forgetting that simple things like tiredness or hunger can make a huge difference in how they listen. For more indispensable advice for modern parents, be sure to watch our video, 15 Best Parenting Advice for Modern Parents. 7. You're using words that cause your child to shut down. Family, how often have you yelled at your child something like, "Stop yelling"? Ironic, isn't it? Or "Stop running," or "Stop hitting your brother." In the heat of the moment, while things are wild, those instructions are going to have little to no effect. We suggest the following. Calmly walk to your child and remove them from the situation. Speak to them on their level. Look them in the eyes and explain what is not working and how they can fix it. By keeping it calm, you diffuse the situation rather than add fuel to the fire. We love what Leonardo da Vinci once said, "Where there is shouting, there is no true knowledge." 8. They don't know the rules. So you're at the museum with your child and he's not behaving well. So you hiss into his ear, "Behave!" But he doesn't. Here's the question. Does he know how to properly behave in a museum? Have you explained to him that in a museum you use your walking feet, not running feet, your inside voice rather than your outside voice, and to not touch anything? If you haven't explained the rules, then you can't expect your child to listen and follow through, because they literally don't know what to do. Explain your expectations in detail before you go to the museum, and chances are you won't need to be hissing into anyone's ears while enjoying the trip. 9. You are giving far too many warnings. Like we said in our video, 15 mistakes you should allow your child to make. You need to let your child feel the consequences of not always listening to you. If you keep reminding them and warning them, then you're just enabling them. Like we said, if a kid has to do ballet barefoot once, or play tennis in their friends' trainers, or miss out on a music lesson because they forgot their instrument, it might just jog their memory next time. So let that happen once. Allow them to not heed your directions, and have them learn by dealing with the consequences themselves. Speaking of consequences, here's one of the biggest reasons our children don't listen to us. 10. You don't follow through with the consequences. Family, for every action, there is a reaction, good or bad. If your child doesn't listen to you, the reaction would be to dance barefoot or borrow sports gear. But if you say the following to your child, "If you don't listen to me right away, I'm taking away your TV time," and you don't take away their TV time, guess what? The threat was redundant, because your child knows now that you don't follow through anyway. There is no consequence for not listening to you. So follow through with the consequence. Don't give warnings, and try your hardest not to cave in, and we know that's not easy. 11. You're a terrible role model. We know it's not always easy to be the perfect role model all the time. But remember that children learn by watching you. So if you're not a good listener, then why would they be? When your child is chatting to you, actively engage with her. Don't scroll on social media when you're with company. Acknowledge someone when they greet you. Your child is watching you, so set the right example. As Anonymous rightly quoted, children are great imitators, so give them something great to imitate. 12. You're distracted while asking them to do something. If your attention is elsewhere when you're asking your child to do something, they'll know it. This kind of instruction is usually half-hearted without any real direction. You're distracted and the focus is not on the instruction. In this situation, take a step back and look at yourself. What could you have done to make it go a bit better? Could you have put the phone down for a minute to kindly and calmly explain what you needed done? Could you have woken up a bit earlier so you weren't so stressed and rushed to leave for school and work? Perhaps a small lifestyle change would allow for more time to communicate and get follow-through without any drama from either side. 13. Engaging in power struggles. This is not uncommon. So if you find yourself battling it out against a willful child, just remember this is normal and this too shall pass. Often during these power struggles, the inability to really listen is fueled. The child wants and needs to assert their will and prove that they're their own person. So it's possible you might get a no just for a no's sake. When you find yourself in this position, which you will, give your child a choice. This lets the child feel like they're in control of the situation. You could say, "Would you like to wear the dinosaur top today or the fire engine top?" Then they decide. Because truthfully, if you just asked, "Would you like to wear the dinosaur top today?" they will say no. But if you give them the choice, they will no doubt choose to wear the dinosaur top today. 14. You're not connecting with your child on their level. This is not an easy topic to broach with many parents, so we're just going to put it out there. A lot of parents do not like their children. Different personality types do clash, and if you find you and your child are constantly at each other and you're feeling disconnected, the chances of them listening are not good. Family, this kind of situation is fairly common. People just don't like to admit it and talk about it. So what can you do to connect with your child? Firstly, take an active interest in their hobbies. Even if the thought of hearing about spiders for the millionth time makes your toes curl, do it for your child's sake and yours. Go and learn about a cool spider that will impress him. Once you've broken through on that level, you'll be amazed at what will follow. Then don't think presence substitutes for presence, ever. Ask open-ended questions that get the conversation flowing. For guidance, be sure to watch our video, 15 questions to ask your child to really get to know them. And finally, never compare your child to you as a kid. It makes them feel like they'll never be good enough. 15. You're not allowing your child to get physical. This is of the utmost importance. Children must develop both proprioception and vestibular sense. This needs to happen before they turn 6. What does this mean? It means we're not letting our children move and play like children should. We keep trying to protect them. Don't climb that high. That's dangerous. Don't spin around so fast. You get the picture. This restrictive movement inhibits the development of both proprioception and vestibular sense. Proprioception tells us where our body parts are without having to look at them, and vestibular sense gives information about where the body is in relation to its surroundings. When these are not developed properly, kids will be more fidgety, fall more often, not focus properly, and not listen as well. So new parents, let them climb the tree, spin around and get physical, and over time you will notice a huge improvement in their listening skills. We love hearing your advice, family. So let us know what you find helps when your child doesn't listen. Let us know in the comments below. So here's something to think about. You've asked your child to do something and they reply with, "In a minute," and you get really annoyed because you expect them to listen right away. However, your child calls you and you reply, "In a minute." Sound familiar? Give your child the same graciousness you expect from them when they call you. Once you're able to do that, you'll find that asking your child to do something will be much less stressful. Until next time, new parents, we value your support. Please like our video, tell your friends about our great channel, and subscribe for more videos.